it, Ro. Let's just get right into it today. We got a lot. We have 50 minutes, 55 minutes. We got to go fast. Miss Sarah Fraser.
Hi, David Yontef, my love. David Yontef. Oh my God. David,
we got a lot, Sarah. We have to seriously go fast.
Okay.
The first thing, just to close out the fact that nobody wants to talk about anything but the Oscars. Will Smith, 10-year ban.
10-year ban from the Academy. So he keeps his Oscar, but essentially you're not an Academy member. I mean, is this even really a punishment? You can't vote. I think that you can still be nominated. You just can't come. So he could still be nominated for an Oscar. He could win and someone could accept on his behalf. He won't be there.
But Jada Smith can come.
She could come, but she's not. I mean, unless they get divorced, which I actually think they could be getting divorced. I'm just going to throw that out there. Everyone says they're thick as thieves, but I don't know. I think something like that changes you.
You do?
Oh, yeah. I think if things don't get better in a year, I think they could divorce 100%. They've separated before. It's not like it's a stretch. I mean, that's what their story is with August Alsina, that they were separated. And that's when she started seeing August.
I have to look up this August. Can I just tell you that Will Smith and Jaden Smith are a hot father-son. Just putting it out there. I'm not saying listen, if they were to engage in anything together, I personally would not be opposed to that, but I don't need them together. I would take Jaden on his own and I would take Will on his own. So I have to look up this August and see, was he worth it, Jada? Because I don't know what you're doing when you have Will Smith at home, honestly.
Well, I think I think they're toast. I think they're done in there. Well, I don't know. I think if his reputation can be salvaged, I mean, there's so many good stories coming out, behind the scenes about them, that he's reportedly devastated. He doesn't want to come out and say anything more because he doesn't want to bring any more attention to the family. They feel like their careers are all ruined. I don't know.
All? I mean, as in Jaden too? Because Jaden was hot.
These are just like reports and rumors like behind the scenes about this. I mean, how true it is, I don't know, and they claim that Will Smith's in a really bad place, but what can you do? You have to move forward. And
I did see something like at CAA. I don't know if it's true. They've had like a 12,000 hour discussion. Certain people are like, you are not dropping him. Other agents were like, we have to drop him. I mean, listen, I really, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what I was just going to say because I mean, what's the point of me saying anything? Like, who the fuck am I? And I have no say in the matter. But
I'm fascinated by it. I read every single article about them. I'm still so shocked. I am hoping for an Oprah tell-all because, something deep is going on there. That's why I think that it is their marriage. I know they did the red table talk. They came out about August Alsina. And then at the end, they fist bumped and they said bad marriage for life. I mean, a kind of take on the Bad Boys franchise or whatever. And yeah, that's their thing. I mean, but I don't know. I think it was so strange. And I think I don't know when you're going to hear from Chris Rock. Anyway, the long and the short is this isn't going away. And a 10-year ban is huge. If you're in that world, I mean, everybody else, no one gives a shit,
Well, like you say, also people politic for this, to win an Oscar and you could be nominated, but are you ever going to be? I mean, is this who is going to nominate Will Smith? Everyone's going to be scared. It sounds like they're scared to even put him in this picture. Just quickly before we wrap up this topic, Mel Gibson, how like I tell you that sometimes I'm on and there's like 75 people listening and I'm shuddering because someone's going to come on and say, David, please move on. Mel Gibson did an interview. I don't know for what he's promoting something. And the last question the guy asked, did you see that? And his people were like, that's all we have time for today. Sorry. And the guy followed up and the woman was like, Mel's moving on now. Thank you. And Mel laughed. Like, I think Mel was going to answer it. Like, I mean, Mel, too. He knows about being canceled.
I know he really does. And I think, and what's funny too about Mel Gibson, I don't know, funny, whatever you want to say about him. Like they're all crazy, right? In Hollywood. I think you're right. I think Mel would have answered that. And like Mel, like I don't know. He probably would have had thoughts like about, I think Mel actually probably would have condoned Will Smith. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of these people, once you were that famous for that long, have any context of like the real world.
You know who's also crazy? And I'm not just, this isn't like my segue, is like these reality stars. I swear to you, and this isn't like I get canned answers. I have people on this show. I'm not just referring to like Lala when she says like Rand is my guy and then two, but it's literally like I have people on this show that make these strong declarations. And literally a week later, something happens and their whole life changes. And I'm like, I just spoke to you. Now there's a delay in.
Who are you
Well,
thinking
I'm just, well, like, for instance, like, I mean, there's a delay in getting stuff out. It doesn't come out the next day. I mean, we have a schedule here and we're backed up, guys. I mean, I can't help it that everyone wants to come on. It's really no ego. It is just, there's nothing I can do. I am not saying no to people. So some stuff comes out a day later. Some stuff comes out weeks later. There's nothing I can do. Months. But just with like Lala, Rand is my guy, and Rand saying Lala's my girl, and then 3 weeks, whatever, however long later this happens. I have some people. Okay, I'll be honest. I have some people coming up from a show that just got canceled. And yeah, Shahs is canceled. Shahs is canceled.
What do you think happened there, by the way? I want all, because, you know, I've been a Shahs fan and watcher, but I've never interviewed, well, actually, Nima Vand there. And look, I'll tell you, if you want to know something about Nima, I mean, Nima Vand was like living for his 15 minutes on that show, like living.
Why? He just gave you an attitude when he
okay, I don't know. He told this story on the Sarah Fraser show. I don't even know what it was about. Anyway, he emailed us after, wanted it removed. And then he said something to the extent, I gave you a Taylor Swift. I don't know if Taylor Swift talked to him or he almost had a date with Taylor Swift or something. He goes, I gave you the Taylor Swift hit. You know, I gave you or that nugget. Like I gave you that, you know, and I'm like, dude, I don't think anyone was picking this up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just so, I don't know. I found that part a little weird. Like, I gave you this sound. Like, okay, well.
I'm not a fan of that shit either. And right, they always call him whatever story he wanted removed by you. I guarantee you was probably nothing. It was nothing of a story.
I couldn't even, honest to God, if you had a gun to my head right now, I couldn't even tell you what it was. I mean, it was that forgettable. But I'm just like, I got the vibe from it. You know, he was very nice on the interview, but he was very concerned about his image because he wanted to be picked up and forever on that show is my take.
I had his sister on, Dr. Mona Van. She was a little difficult in her own way. No, lovely and nice. But she wanted certain things. I forgot what also, like toned down or something. There was something she wanted taken out. And I was like, this is such a nothing of a nothing. Like,
by the way, she's the one that's now dating Gary V. You know, Gary V, the one that's become famous online for giving business advice.
No, I do not.
You're like, no, I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, you know, Gary V. I don't know. I feel like he was really super hot like 2 or 3 years ago.
Because Mona's very pretty. Very.
Well,
let me look up this Gary
Yes,
V.
Gary V is getting divorced from his wife of numerous years. And he came out on his social